Welcome to my garden. I thought I'd do a little video of my garden, what a totally neglected, haven't lifted a finger all summer garden looks like. I have not done a thing, and these guys water themselves, so it was so hot. I mean, days and days and days, 102, 101, a lot of that, a lot of 101s. It was so amazing. I suddenly realized that uh, 97 is pretty comfortable. Oh gosh. Anyway, look at my Lacenta kale. It's beautiful. This is a gorgeous plant. And it seemed to get through I didn't do a thing. It just grew on its own. The birds have been pecking holes in my leaves. They just perch and peck holes in the leaves. But look at this plant. I mean, it's all of this coming out of my barrel. I'm going to keep this plant as long as I can. It is just wonderful. And the really beautiful tender leaves, this is what we would eat. From here we would feed, are on the top. So we like these plants. They have such a wonderful root system. I want to really hang on to that. Some bok choy here that made it through the summer. Some spinach. No, that's not spinach. It looks like it's going to be bok choy. Here's some spinach. Not really much going on here. I'm going to come out and clean up the garden. This is my lettuce barrel that it was absolutely gorgeous. Grew a lot of red summer sale, and this now has bolted, and another one called doe ears. And so I just let it bolt, but it's kind of interesting looking plant uh, when you stand away from it. It has sort of an ornamental aspect to it. Anyway, it's time to start growing some food. So I'm estimating about 30 minutes to clean up this barrel and have it ready to go. And then once again, I go back into just picking food. Gosh, this is a wonderful system. Anyway, look at my mint barrel. What used to be my herb garden. There's a little bit of pepper that is getting quickly squeezed out. I'm not sure that the mint can overtake the rosemary. Rosemary has its own ability to maintain its territory, and it seems to be holding true here. So, and some really nice spearmint. The chives have pretty much given up the ghost. It's amazing how this stuff spreads. If you ever put this in a barrel, prepare to have a mint garden, because it will actually proliferate through the soil from one pocket to another. Um, this was actually just 2 or 3 small plants. And, wow. So you're going to give up your barrel. You can't really stop it. But mint gardens are nice also. Just how much mint can you use? Not sure what this is. Looks like I don't know. There's a real herby look to it. It has bolted for sure, so it wouldn't actually look like the plant. I have to investigate. Anyway, we got a lot of strawberries this spring. This barrel was really looking good. It was producing, which is wonderful. And now it's getting pretty dormant. And this barrel is not on the self-feeding system. So, and like I did not fool around in the garden at all this summer. It was just too hot. And this is what the garden would look like if it wasn't on the automatic watering system, which is kind of tragic. But I bet you that a lot of these strawberries will come back. Just need to get this barrel cleaned up and started. So these are my collard greens. They really are getting to be quite dramatic in the barrel. I mean, when you start to look at this ornamentally and still be able to produce food beneath, there's some collard greens, some kale. It looks like it's going to be Lucenta. There's a bit of, well, I guess that's some more bok choy. Here's some bok choy over here. Something's been eating it. I don't know. Anyway, you can see the birds peck holes in these. You can see their evidence. They leave the feathers behind and the DNA. I came home one afternoon and there was a small flock of birds perched in here and having a great time and pecking. It was really hot, and this thing offers more shade, I imagine, than trees, because the trees are not doing so well from the drought. But I don't know, they had a little family in here, but they were pecking away. Of course, you can see the new growth here. This is what we would feed on. I really need to start juicing some of this, because this is such a wonderful source of chlorophyll. And just wow, those leaves are beautiful as the sun rises over the garden. So there's a good deal of food here. I think mixing it up with some hot water, ice, and then blending it at the end, pulsing in some one way, and you've got something that you can really feed on. Anyway, so I'm thinking 30 minutes or so to clean up this barrel and get it back online. And I may keep a couple of these, of the healthier bolted plants. I don't know. I kind of like the way they look, like what they're doing. It seems wild and untethered. So, but it was pretty cool today. But it's still hitting the 3 digits, and I just don't want to be bothered coming out here, and having to deal with the heat. But once we start dropping down into the mid-90s, I'll be ready to go and get the fall garden planted, and the winter cycle also, where we end up with lots and lots and lots of real beautiful lettuce. I think I'm going to do some romaine and Bib. So I've already been selecting my seeds.